You've heard of it, haven't you? The legend of Sparta? When I was young, my father would tell me stories about it. Long ago, in ancient times, a demon rebelled against his own kind for the sake of the human race. With his sword, he shut the portal to the demonic realm and sealed the evil entities off from our human world. But since he was a demon himself, his power was also trapped on the other side. I never believed it. I thought it was just a child's fairy tale. But I discovered that this so-called legend wasn't a myth at all. Sparta existed. How do I know? Well, I met the sons of Sparta. Both of them. Though the same blood of their father flowed through their veins, the two battled each other fiercely like arch-enemies. It seemed as if they derived some sort of twisted pleasure from this brotherly fighting.
Jackpot.
Hello and welcome. In this video, I will be going over everything that I would want if Dante from the Devil May Cry series were to make it into Smash Brothers. I will start with covering his moveset, then go into the extras like the stage, spirits, costumes, and the like. Now, before I get into his moveset, I'd just like to clarify I highly doubt that this is how they would translate him into Smash. Well, to be fair, I have no clue how they would go about doing it. But the approach I've gone for is so overcomplicated, Mr. Sakurai would probably never consider a character with such a complex moveset. So just bear in mind, going into this, that this is just a moveset I came up with to be as faithful to the source gameplay as possible, as I couldn't predict what they would go for with Dante, even if I wanted to. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into the moveset. So for Dante's moveset, I wanted to incorporate his style switch. Style switching is one of the most important things that gives Dante such a unique gameplay, and looking over other theoretical movesets, no one else I have seen has even tried to work style switching into Dante's kit, so I'm here to do just that. Also, just be aware I'm going to be pulling from his moves from DMC5, just to help him feel more coherent and not as messy as he could be. So that's going to be his 4 Devil Arms, Devil Sword Dante, Balrog, Cavalier, and King Cerberus, as well as his 4 guns, Ebony and Ivory, Coyote A, Double Clean and of course, Dr. Faust. Let's start with the Trickster moves. For his up B, he will use the classic Air Trick, a recovery teleport you can angle just like Mewtwo or Palutena's. However, it is important to note, for Air Trick, you cannot land on the ground with it. That is reserved for Side B, Ground Trick. To be honest, I really just didn't know what could slot as his last Trickster move, so I figured it made the most sense to just split Air and Ground Trick to 2 separate moves. And finally, his neutral B will be Trickster Dash, a simple dash forward or backward, pretty much just a better roll. Next, I'll go over Sword Master. His up B when in Swordmaster will be real impact, huge windup but with a huge payoff, being as strong as a Warlock punch and also one-shotting shields. I know this move would be super impractical just like Warlock punch, but it's just so iconic I couldn't resist incorporating it into his moveset. It at least would be good for shield break punishes if nothing else. Swordmaster's neutral special will of course be Prop Shredder, a classic slicing windmill with a sword that pops opponents into the air with the first hit, and pressing B again will catch them in a high damage second spin of his sword if they fail to act out of the first hit. The first hit is also a great combo starter. Lastly, side B is going to be Redline, the signature move of Cavalier R. I debated whether it should be this or Full Throttle simply because Redline is a DLC move, but I figure it's my dream moveset, might as well go all out. Plus Redline is a way more practical move. Simply a quick and strong burst option that will have a lot of end lag and armor, like Dark Pit side B but faster. Next up is Royal Guard. Royal Guard will be unique in the sense that you cannot use your shield while in this style, giving a little less safety when it's in use. The use of this style is simple. Time your neutral B block just before a move hits to do a Royal block. This negates all damage and fills up your Royal meter. Block too early, and depending on the move you are hit with, a couple different things can happen. If it's a light enough move, your guard won't be broken, but you will still take damage from the attack and your meter won't be filled as much. Mistime a heavier move though, and your guard will be broken and you won't gain any meter, leaving you wide open for a huge hit. What do you do with this meter once you have it built up though? That's where the other specials come into play. Side special is Release. This move releases all of the energy you have built up with your meter if it lands. Of course, being stronger the more meter you built up. However, time this move perfectly before an attack, like with block, and you will do a Royal Release, which will grant significantly more knockback. The other option you can use your meter for is the up special, Royal Revenge. This would function like a counter you could hold forever, but the catch is it only works when you have Royal meter built up, and it doesn't scale with the attack it was hit by like other counters. It always does the same amount of knockback and damage, and it always takes a full bar of meter to use. Last but not least, we have Gunslinger. For his neutral B, Dante will pull out Ebony and Ivory, his twin pistols, to use twosome time. For this move, you can angle his second pistol up, back, or forward for extra power up front. If you hold both guns in front and mash, it will activate Honeycomb Fire, which makes Dante shoot the pistols way faster, making the damage output quite high. Finally for this move, if you use it in the air, Dante will do Rainstorm, where he spins around, shooting his pistols rapidly down. For his side B, Dante will use Gunstinger, with his trusty shotgun Coyote A. A standard charge forward and shoot, unleashing a powerful buckshot. Just like in-game, if you press B in a direction while he is dashing, you can cancel the attack and do a slide before you shoot. And for his up B with Gunslinger, Dante will use the twin Kalina Anns to perform Cascade. This move will have huge startup and end lag like it does in DMC5, but the beam of energy this shot releases is devastating. It will be reminiscent of Byleth's neutral beam, but with a larger hitbox, and once it's ready to fire, you can hold it until you want to shoot. I imagine this would be most useful for catching high recoveries off stage. Whew, and that covers it for Dante's specials. Now all that's left is his normals. For his F smash, he will use Crossline, pulling out Cavalier to deal a slow but high damaging smash attack that would also have super armor. His up smash will be Divine Dragon, using his Balrog gauntlets to deliver a huge Shoryuken uppercut that goes higher the more you charge it. And for his down smash, he will be utilizing King Cerberus with percussion, slow startup but good damage and range. He will also have King Cerberus for his forward tilt rock back. Not very fast for a tilt, but has excellent range and would be great for closing the gap. Up tilt will be Updraft, a quick and big leg swing with Balrog, and a good anti-air that doubles as a combo starter, but has low damage. For his down tilt, I really couldn't come up with any specific move in game that would work well here, so just a generic sword swing with Devil Sword Dante will have to do. Akin to Ike's. Next up, we have his aerials, starting with his nair, of course being Aerial Raid. This would function like Snake's, where he swings his sword quickly 4 times in front of him automatically. For his fair, I went with Swing, a big swipe with King Cerberus, slow, but big and long-reaching. His dare would be Feather Combo, where he uses Balrog to deliver a quick 3-hit combo. This move would spike, but the hitbox is small and the spike is not super strong. Bear will be High Side, a big, slow backward swing with Cavalier, but it will have super armor like with all of Cavalier's moves, and it will be very strong and high damaging. Last for his aerials is Up Air. This is the one other move that I wasn't super confident on, as not many moves in his game hit upward. However, I decided to go with just a simple swipe of his sword, like High Time but in the air, a quick and easy sword swing that reaches pretty high up and with moderate damage. And now onto his grab. His pummel can be quick jabs from Balrog, and his up throw is Flint Wheel, forward throw Air Taunt, down throw is Crystal, and back throw is Backslide. To finish off his normals, his jab will be his normal combo with Devil Sword Dante, and rapid jab will be Million Stab. And finally, of course, his dash attack will be Stinger, a fast and very strong dash attack with a lot of N lag to compensate. And for his final smash, Dante will use Judgment. For this, Dante activates Sin Devil Trigger and lets loose a flurry of slashes from his sword and finishes with a huge burst of energy. This final smash is triggered when someone gets hit by the initial explosion that happens when he first transforms, that would have a hitbox similar to Meta Knight's final smash. And with that, everything else in his moveset are just some minor things I thought I could touch over quickly to finish off his animations. His crouch can be his taunt I call Showdown, because that's what he said in 4, and that was badass. For his get up attack, he does this little spinny thing with his legs when he gets knocked off his ass in-game, and it looks just like Captain Falcon's get up attack, so it seems like a nice fit. He doesn't have any moves that could obviously fit the bill of his ledge attack, but just a simple little sword jab will do the trick. For a spot dodge, I really want him to use his Dr. Faust pose. It's just too amazing not to fit into his moveset somewhere. Also in the same vein, his parry will be the same animation as when he uses Hat Trick. Simply too beautiful not to incorporate. As for his stun, roll, and double jump, those have easy one-to-one translations from in-game to pull from. Lastly, his taunts. For his up taunt, he will point and laugh at the opponent before saying guts and honor.
Guts and honor.
Side taunt will have him toss his arm out at the opponent in dismissal before turning his back to exclaim how bored he is.
Man, I'm bored.
And his down taunt will have Dante clap at the opponent while saying, "Come on, you can do better than that."
Come on, you can do it. Over here.
Okay, that about does it for all of Dante's moves and animations in-game. Now to wrap it up with everything else that would be added along with him, including his alts, the stage, music, neat costumes, and spirits. For Dante's alts, I would love it if they gave him all of his different looks from each game, plus a shirtless DMC3 Dante and a Sparta costume. However, having literally 8 different models for one DLC fighter is a lot. Plus, it would look really weird to fans to see, say, DMC3 Dante using DMC5 Dante's weapons. Plus, they would probably have to all have different voice lines since each Dante is a different age. And one is completely different voice actor. So with that in mind, I think the more realistic approach would be to just give him different palette swaps of different characters, but that's boring and obvious, so I won't bother to go over it. For the stage, nothing really jumps out as an obvious stage choice other than maybe the Timony Gru or the Clyfoth, both of which in-game are just big flat arenas. But since we are going with a Dante that is purely Devil May Cry 5, we might as well make this stage the Clyfoth. In it, Clyfoth routes could spread out while you play, adding platforms or stage hazards that you could break, or something to that effect. Next is the music, which is a bit difficult since you never know how much music they're going to add for a given character, so I will just go over a few tracks I think definitely should make it in. Devil Trigger, Subhuman, and Crimson Cloud. I think are no-brainers, since those are the battle themes for the three main characters in Devil May Cry 5. Afterwards, I think some Virgil tracks are in order, like the duel that plays when you fight him in DMC 5, and Virgil Battle 2 from DMC 3. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without Devils Never Cry. After that, it's pretty much free game for whatever slots may be left. Psycho Siren, Frozen Frog, and Voltaic Black Knight. Are a few of my other personal favorites. And also the background music has been DMC music, of course, all suitable for Smash. Mii costumes are pretty straightforward, a couple sword fighters for Virgil and Nero, possibly one for V2, even though it wouldn't make much sense, it still looked cool for sure. A gunner for Lady, and a brawler for Trish, all great fits for Mii fighters. Of course, I don't think these all would be added as costumes, but mix and match as you please for a few that actually would be added. And to finish off all of the content outside of the fighter, we have the spirits. You gotta have one versus Virgil and Urizen, of course, and also one versus V's pets would be really cool. After that, pretty much just chuck in a few extras of other bosses from the series to round them out. Pretty simple stuff. In conclusion, with this setup, I couldn't imagine Dante being anything short of completely broken once you learn him. Even if none of his moves stand out as all that great, having so many different options is a recipe for an oppressive and hard to fight against character. Honestly though, you could probably make it work with low damage, trouble killing, and poor move speed. I do think and hope Dante will make the cut as a DLC fighter. Really, the only thing I see holding him back is Sakurai trying to figure out how to make him play faithful to the games without making him overcomplex like I have. However, if the devs figure out a way to make him work, I believe he is a shoo-in for a spot on the roster. And with that, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have your fingers crossed with me for Dante to make it in.